Hello everyone, this is Mighty Scon here with a new episode of Feed the Beast Revelation. And so we are now on episode 36. And today we're going to look at Draconic Evolution. But first, let's look at some updates. I did want to show you that I maxed out the drills here. All of them are maxed out. And they just require the Tesla core upgrades, which there's only 4 of them. You know, there's 2 different tiers of speed, 2 different tiers of energy, and they are producing a maximum RF per tick of 225. Now, the speed upgrades of all 4 of those is producing a pretty quick amount of work. So, with that, I'll show you the difference in the energy usage. So if we don't have any of the energy upgrades in there, we can see that it's using 4,688 RF per work. But if we add 30s in here, it's actually using 2,637. So it's almost like half, well, a little less than half, but it reduces it quite a bit. And the speed upgrades increase the rate of work quite a bit, so it's pretty nice. So that is pretty much it for the updates. Nothing else has changed, but we'll get to the episode now. Okay, in this episode, we're going to go over Draconic Evolution, the endgame of all endgame mods. And what we're going to work on, particularly first, is the energy storage system. And it's kind of it's not a actual requirement, but it kind of is a requirement because very few things can pump out the power that is required for Draconic Evolution. So you can make a tablet. I think I showed you this before. And what we want to do is we want to look up the energy network. And so you can actually look at some pretty interesting things about this. It gives you a lot of information on how the energy network works and linking stuff and all the relays, and you can get the IO crystals, and they have capacity of 16 million, 64 million, and different things like that. So you can actually get a lot of power going through this system. And then of course the main thing you want to look at is the energy storage, which let's go back to here. We want to look up the energy storage system, which is here. And so this is the energy storage. So it's not the actual generator, so you're not generating power with this, you're just storing power. And you can see that each tier, it's a tiered system, but you can get into some big numbers there. Like 1 billion, 1.6 billion, 9.8 billion with tier 4. And with this, this is kind of, this is the largest storage system you can have for energy. And definitely something that when you get the Wither in a farm, you should definitely work on this particular setup here, because when you get this, then you really have no issue with power from then on. Even if you can't, somehow go through your power, run out of power from your actual resources, you are going to continuously have power for, many, many, many days after that. The highest I've ever built this thing up to was tier 5. Anything beyond that becomes really ridiculous as far as resources required. And it takes a very long time, in-game time, to get those resources. So we can look at the core setup, and this is pretty explanatory in its sense that if you read through this section here, you'll know how to set this up. And the reason why I want to set this up is because in order to do some of the other things, like the fusion crafting, you're going to need a lot of power to do this. And nothing else will come close to storage of the required power than the storage system. So, I mean, you're going to need to have, I don't think it shows you the actual fusion crafting power requirements. No, it doesn't show you that. Okay, so when we get to that section, we'll definitely show you the power requirements, but the first thing you definitely want to do is actually get the storage energy system set up here. And so what we will need is a lot of emeralds, and we will need a lot of diamonds, because we're going to build probably the tier 4, maybe tier 5 starting off. Okay, so we want to set up, let's see, tier 4 requires 1 energy core, so 54 draconium blocks. That's going to be the limiter right now, is the draconium blocks. So I'm not sure how much draconium I have, but let's see how many draconium blocks I can build. Then I'll know what exactly I'm able to build. Alright, so let's see. I need 54 blocks for 52 blocks, plus some extra here. So I might be able to go with the tier, what did we say, tier 4. Maybe tier 5, let's see. Okay, so I'm going to need tier 5. Yeah, that costs 90 draconium blocks. Might go on there. It's tier 4. So that's doable. Energy core stabilizers. So essentially what we're doing is we're just building this list here, and then we're going to put it together. And once you get it going, it'll show you what to build and which areas to build it in. But I think I have enough to do this, because these stabilizers, they cost diamonds, 4 diamonds each. And particle generators, draconium core, so I should have enough for this. So I'm going to work on this list here, and when we get to the point where we're setting it up, then I will show you that. I do have to find a spot to set it up. I think I might build a specific room for this, because I want to have access to it from my power room here. And I also want to power the devices down below in that other room. So it may actually wind up being in this room. I can probably set up in this room, and because below we're going to be, I'm just going to dig straight down and see where we're at with this. Okay, so we're in here, and we're here. Okay, so 2 levels below, that should be fine. You can it's lasers. The system for distributing power is lasers, and it's actually wireless. Once you get to a certain level, it's wireless. And I can also use I can also tack on my power cells on this end as well, so we can still run it through power cells if we needed to. But let's go back up here, and yeah, I think I might just stick it in this room. That should be good. We'll probably burn through all this charcoal that I have set up here once we get it going. So that's the plan, is to set this up. Then we will work on possibly the armor. I think I'm going to be out of draconium, so I'm going to have to switch over to draconium production to finish up the rest of Draconic Evolution items. And if we look at our draconium production, we can produce it with from here. So if we want to get draconium ore, okay, let's look at lenses. Then we can see which one. I think it might be purple. So maybe this one. Yes. Okay. So we need to get draconium ore. So its preferred lens is purple from this block here, the drill. So I can make some purple lenses for that. And we also want to, I think the purple one for environmental tech will get us draconium. Yeah, okay. 6.29% chance. So that's not bad. So we'll have to switch over to these lenses. And then we will be able to resource miner, really? Oh, okay, that's just, okay. So we'll have to work on these lenses, and we can, I can definitely get it from here first. I have the resources for this. So that's the plan. So I'm going to work on that, and I will be right back. Okay, so I got all of the required items that we will need for this build. Redstone, the Draconic blocks, the energy core, and the energy core stabilizers, and I think we need the storage core, and I might have to build some pylons. Let's see. I'm sorry, some of the relays. We'll get to that later. Actually, I'm not gonna build those now. I don't think I have the stuff for that anyways. So what we're gonna do is build this thing now. Okay, so what we're gonna need to do is put the energy core down. Let's just get some blocks. I want to make it higher. Let's see, it's going to be, I'm not sure how big the tier 4 is. I know it's a few blocks in size as far as height and width goes. Let's put it there. Now you can get this nice little, I guess, guide, whatever, but you can set the build guide up, and this will give you a instruction on how to tier up. So you want to tier it up to a tier 4, and it tells you like what blocks to place down and where to place them. It's a pretty neat system, so it's not too big actually. I'm thinking of tier 5 gets to be a little big. Okay, so we need some redstone, and so we want to cover this thing in redstone. Let's see. So it's like a 3x3x3 of redstone. And this layer here. Alright. And the next thing we're going to need is the layer of draconium. So we just need to cover this in draconium each side. Yeah, so that should be it. And then we put the pylons down. So let's break this and actually turn off the build guide. Alright. So not too bad as far as size goes. Now this thing will turn into a different block when you actually activate it. But yeah, this is definitely one of the things you want to do for your in-game power storage is have this thing set up. Okay, so let's look at the pylons. I think they go a specific amount of space away. I haven't built one of these in a while, since probably 1.10 mod pack. Alright, let's stick this in here. Stabilizer valid. Okay, so let's put that in there. Alright, so core is valid, steel is valid. Now we can just activate. And that's pretty much it. Now the fun part begins, and it's piping the stuff into this. So we have a 9.8 giga RF, so it's billion RF size, and we definitely can. We won't be filling this thing up for a while. I'll just put it that way. But that is pretty much it. It looks pretty neat. It's a neat little block structure. You can put it into a specific place. You can deactivate it and then put it somewhere else as well. So let's power this thing up. Let's I'm going to make a bunch of ID 3s. We're going to make this thing burn through TBU. That's the goal. This thing has been switched over to LEU. So I'm getting LEU because I want to get some Americanium, and really it's very low. It's not a very efficient build, really. Oh, okay, there we go. Okay, that's better. I was wondering why it's not turning on. So I'm using LEU 233 for everything else. Okay, the next step to get power into this block here is we will need to make a few more blocks. Not too bad. So let's see if I can find that in here. So I can find the you build up, we have this system done. The next thing is energy pylons. And so you can redo this if you want, but essentially it's just glass and a pylon. And this will allow you to input and output directly into your block. So this is the next step, and then we can get the crystal storage system up and going. So these crystals will need to be built too. You also need a linking device to connect the crystals together. So let's do that. I'm going to work on that. I'm going to build the pylons, I'm going to get the crystals, and I'll be right back. Okay, I have the crystals. I made 8 of them. I don't need 8 of them, but I made them just for now. And I do have the pylons, and I do have an energy power cell. So I do have some glass as well. So you're going to need at least these things right here. And actually I'm going to see if I can upgrade these pylons. I don't probably need to upgrade them. I'm sorry, not the pylons, the crystals. I don't think I need to upgrade them, but let's just see what it takes to upgrade them. So we need these. We're going to need 5 cores. And I'm pushing the limits of our Draconium stores right now. And we're going to need 4 of those to be Wyvern cores. Oh yeah, we're okay. So I need to get some more Draconium. You know what? That's fine. We'll just hold off on that, and I can upgrade them a little later. So we'll work on that later. So for now, let's get our blocks down here. I'm not sure what the distance is between this and that the pylons. I might have to stick this in the ground. So let's see. This is the center is right there. And this is the center block right here. Yeah, let's just stick this in the ground. Is that right? That's not right. Let's go over one more. Alright, so let's put this in the ground. And stick a glass on top of it. And there we go. We have the, this is input. I'm not quite sure if I want to do input or output here. It doesn't matter now. Let's do this first. I'll probably put the output down there. Let's make this one input. So we need to stick this on the ceiling. I'm not going to be able to fit anything bigger than tier 4 in here. So when we get to the next level, we'll have to work on that. Alright, so it's going to be about right there. And let's get our glass in here. There we go. Alright, so we can make our IO crystals for distribution. And you can directly power through this as well. So we are getting 20 RF per tick. And yeah, it's like nothing essentially in here right now. Less than 1%, less than 0.1%. So you can directly power through here if you wanted to, and you can pull power out directly from here. The crystals, I don't want to show you how the crystals work, because the crystals are definitely good for distributing power at a higher rate. So let's just break this, And let's get our crystal here, and we could put this like right here. Let's put one there. We're just going to link these together. There's different kind of crystals. There's the relay crystal, and they all have different purposes. You can relay stuff through them if you wanted to. Just say, okay, you shift click, and then you can click on that one, and then shift click, and click on this one, and there you go. You can have a direct connection. You don't need this one either. You can just directly connect between from here all the way to here, and so they're balancing out the power between all of them. You can do the crystals if you want. I do sometimes, and sometimes I don't. Okay, so we have our output. I think by default they are set to input. So if you look at the bottom right side, it should say input. You should be able to just shift click on these. Yeah, so you get output on that, which should be outputting into this. Yeah. So you will need to change the modes of some points. And yeah, it's not even taxing this thing very much. So it's not going over the 18,000. That's why I want to make bigger crystals, because we're not hitting the mark where we're actually draining the system at maximum rate. So we can look at this. Yeah, it's not being. It's being drained actually more than 18,000 RF per tick. So that's good. So we are getting a nice drain off this thing. All right. So we're doing it's doing its job. And so now what we need to do is power the output. So I'm gonna have to get another ID. So I might use a different ID for this block here. Make it 4, because I want 3 to be output. I don't have to change everything up on there. Okay, so I do have some energy cells, and okay, so I got an energy cell, and it's on link ID 3. Let's make an input. So we should be able to power ID 3. Let's actually switch this one over to ID 4. So let's make some more cards. We just make 2 more cards. And if you want to make a new ID, you just take out the old card and put a new one in. So let's take this out and put it in. There we go. Now we can make this one 4 and this one 4. And so we have 4 coming in here. What we're going to do now is actually say, let's make this one 3 into 4. There we go. So now I have energy coming into here, filling this thing up, and so we should be powering this. Okay, so we actually have energy coming into this now. I keep turning it off accidentally. So the pylon here is now output, indicating why the arrow is going out, and we want to make the output going into this. So there we go. So we have power going into this system, which is 3, and then this is 4 now. So now 4 is going into here. So now what we can do is just have everything being powered through this machine. And I don't know what the actual limitations are as far as RF per tick goes, but what I might do is just have both of these reactors powering this single, going into 4. And then we can just do this. Let's okay, so let's do this. Take that up. Take that up. It's 1 and 2. Let's make this Okay, so it's powering this one now. It's powering this one. Yeah, so they're both being powered. And then let's do this as well. So this is also being powered. This is 2. So now everything's being powered by, or everything I have so far is being powered by this one power machine here. We're still getting a positive, so we're getting a positive 14,000 RF per tick from this one reactor. So what we're going to do now is set up another power level 4 here. Actually, probably should infuse these, make them even stronger. But we can do crystals as well. So we can just set up crystals actually to power this up directly from here. Yeah. So let's do this. For now, let's just set up a link ID 4. Let's grab one of these. And let's make this link ID 4. And we should now be accepting power into this. And there we go. Alright. So we have these two on, both powering. Let's just make this all in. Yeah. Yeah, look at that. I'm actually getting. So this was working. This was actually working where it was outputting into this. Well, it's not doing it anymore. This mod sometimes gets a little quirky, but it was actually power. It was actually going through this hopper here and going into here before, but now it's not for some reason. So I'll have to keep an eye on that. Okay, so now what we have is the link ID 4 and link ID 4. These are both being powered into this up here. So what we can do now is we can get some more link ID 4s and have even more power going into this. For now we're being capped by the output rate of this one block. But what we can do is, so let's just do this. Let's get a duct. Let's get some, I don't know, we're going to do resonant maybe. At least redstone. Redstone's 9,000, resonant's 25,000. About to build some more resonant ones. But what we can do now is have crystal here, and we can have some linking crystals here, and one here. Nope, not there. I need some, I need a place to stand. Alright, let's stand here. And then we can link this one up with this one. There we go. Let's see what we have now. Oh, still 14,000. So, what am I missing here? It's 4. Yeah. This is not linked somehow. What is this not linked? Oh, yeah, dirt. So you want to make sure this is output. There we go. Alright, so now what do we have now? 34,000. So that's where we're at, 34,000. And then we're just going to drain this thing. Let's just drain up our system that we have set up here. And let's make this another crystal. And let's drain this right here. Let's make this outputs. There we go. Don't want to sit on this thing too long, or she gets stuck. And let's clear this out. Crystal binder, okay. Connect to that one, connect to this one. There we go. I'm not sure get rid of this. It's not really, it's kind of pointless to have this here. Let's just do a direct connection Alright, so let's do that one to that one. There we go. Look at that. So now we have 3 coming off this one device here. And we are draining this thing. Oh yeah, so this is good. We want to drain this. We're at 321 million. 54,000 RF per tick. 54,000? Yeah, 54.5 thousand RF per tick. And so we are, like I said before, it's going to take a long time to fill this thing up. But we're doing a pretty good job at it. So we can hook up all of our power systems onto that link ID 4 now. So that's going to be the goal, is to get all the power systems on the link ID 4. Let's drop in a 4 here. There we go. Yeah, so they're going now, they're ticking. So that's another chunk of power going into this. And we're not stabilizing yet. Yeah. And yeah, this thing's draining. So this is good. We want it to drain. We don't mind if this is drained. This will continuously run and burn up all the backlog of charcoal we have. I think this system right here will still have charcoal because we have hundreds of thousands of charcoal right now before this thing fills up. So I think we'll get to that point where this will still have charcoal in it. We can link this up too. So what are they powering? What ID are they powering? They're not powering anything. So let's get another one for this. Let's get this one out here. Is this 4? Let's make it a 4. And let's actually drop this one over here. This is not a high-end power cell. There we go. And let's put this lower-end power cell down here. Alright, so this will be burning through rosin. A little good amount of rosin. Plus 2 here, and then plus we have some 17,000 stack of planks. So this will be filled up. This will be burning. All this stuff will be going. Yeah. Then we can actually get a decent amount of power from our canola oil as well. So we're doing 47,000 RF per tick right now. It's a little lower than what we started at, because we now have the limitations of our current devices. So everything's going. Yeah, everything looks good. It looks like we're actually using up all of our stored power, and we definitely have a good backlog of power now. And we'll continue to fill this thing up. We'll continue powering everything with that. We're definitely making a surplus of power right now. And if we ever needed to add more, we can add another power cell on this side, powering into the crystals from this side. If we run out of, if this thing starts getting not enough power being produced by this block here. This block is a limitation right now. But right now it's good. We're at a good place for this system. We're at a good surplus. Now we get into crafting with Draconic Evolution. We will be burning through some power. And we can upgrade this as well at some point. So it's not going to be too hard to upgrade it. Other than just getting some more of the Draconium to actually upgrade it. And I might have to go to the end and just start mining up stuff. So that is pretty much it for the power system here. I think I've shown you how the crystals work. I've shown you how to build the this power storage system and how to get things in and out of it. You should be able to get the same setup here if you have enough Draconium, which I do not have enough to progress further than this. So I'm not sure if I will continue on with Draconic Evolution in the next episode or not. We'll see. But for now, you know what? I thank you for watching this episode. I hope you learned something. I hope you learned how to build the same system here. So I appreciate you watching, and thanks again, and bye.